Tonight on Time for the Show, Dr. Fox smokes an entire donkey in just one hit. Fitchuli mixes the wheat back into the chaff, and Reverend Pease finds out what happens when he pulls his own finger. Stand by for Time for the Show.
Quit messing up my cards. See, you ruined the timing.
Broadcasting live on Freethink Radio from Hypercube HQ in the future capital of the former Spanish Empire, Orlando, Florida. This is Time for the Show. The show where we get together every week to figure out what to do on next week's show. And tonight's show is brought to you by the Ku Klux Clapper. It's the light switch for lazy racists. I'm Fitchuli of the Church of the Broken Car Antenna, and with me, as always, here at Hypercube is Mr. Hypercube himself, the doctor engineer, Dr. Fox. Say hi.
He's trying to clap in between every...
And TV star.
That's right, because you got to fill. You can't have dead air.
I wanted between, because I wanted to appropriate that, if that was okay. But
and of course,
that's all I wanted to do.
You know what? I'm proud of you.
I tried.
No, you're a good boy, and you're almost as good a boy and as handsome a boy as Reverend Pease, who is with us as always. What's up, my friend?
Pease is here.
Hey, Pease.
I'm well.
It's good to hear from you, buddy. I missed you,
Missed
man.
it. I missed
not
you.
really, but we're trying to do a radio show here. You know, I gotta pretend like I like you.
Suspend the disbelief. It's show business.
Well, it's a good thing that we have all once again congregated here on Freethink Radio to do an episode of Time for the Show, because we have a hell of a one for you guys today. We're bringing back the Blind Eyes. We're bringing back Is It a Band? I got a viewer mail. I don't know about you guys.
No.
But
I did get mail.
P's got a viewer mail. And we're also going to talk about the big fight. So lots of stuff
big
to
fight.
go over.
Oh my God, the big fight.
Well,
Unbelievable.
hold on, Pease.
The
Let's not get into
showdown
it
and the
yet.
throwdown.
Hey, save it for the show.
Save it for the show, Pease.
Save it for the show. That's just a tease. I just wanted to have my excitement so high up and do such a small tease that people would know this is something big.
I had to suspend the security camera outgoing feed for the studio tonight, despite our awesome new lighting in the studio. It's sensual. It's inviting. But
That's implied.
Unfortunately, we're just having a fight for that bandwidth tonight. So don't worry, the tunnel crews will work effortlessly in installing a new fiber optic line down here to sub-basement 27. But you can enjoy it for now right here with us in the quality that we are willing to share it to you. In the name of a live radio show.
Aloha Snack Bar!
It's like a show.
It's live. We're
It's
literally live.
So if you're hearing this and it's not
On the radio.
10:07 p.m. on the eastern seaboard, Pease, what time is it in Easter Island?
It's time for the time
4:37.
zones.
Okay. So, we're all able to just work together on this.
No, I'm going to need you guys on this one. This is an important show, okay?
It's a shoe.
It's time for the shoe.
And I'm in socks.
And later on, Dr. Fox
I think
is
those
gonna,
were good opportunities.
He's wearing his idiot calling socks because tonight on Time for the
They
Show,
worked. I'm here.
Dr. Fox is gonna call me a stupid idiot, and you're gonna find out why. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be funny for you, but for me,
Hey,
it's
that's
gonna be
enough. That's enough.
embarrassing.
Save it for the show, dude.
Oh.
Save it for the show. Got lots of show coming up. You know, oh, Jesus. So much
There
show.
he is. He sounds like
Beautiful.
He sounds like Balderdash. The only thing that we don't save for the show, or that we shouldn't save for the show, is the sound
Is the
check.
comment.
Because
Oh.
Reverend P
He actually
once
sounds pretty
again,
good, but we're having network difficulties, so it is not his fault.
See,
I'm
the
getting a
reason that
red
I was
light.
not there is I had to disconnect all of my stuff and reboot everything
Disconnect
I had
all of your
to make
stuff.
sure
I thought you had an
that
Apple
I was
AirBook.
tight.
I thought this was
Well,
the best
yeah.
computer you ever
So,
bought. Your
it
iPad with a
is.
keyboard. And it's
So?
it's exactly so. You got it.
So don't be a hater.
Are you
don't,
on?
Don't,
So what are you on tonight? You on the Wi-Fi or the Ethernet? Ethernet.
you know, I feel like that's like asking me who I voted for. I'm not sure I'm comfortable answering that question.
Well, as long as I keep getting the red lights, I'll cut some.
Well, the
I don't
reason
want to say the
the,
S
the
word.
reason
don't say the S word, Dr.
the
Fox.
reason is if I was to give you any kind of information, the Black Hat convention here in Las Vegas, and if I was to transmit live on the radio,
any
ordinance or what
sensitive
type of
information,
platform
like
I was
your-
using,
Like
I
your
would
address,
be, I would
home
or
be
your
address
phone
in my-
number, or
so-
your email address, or your
yeah,
physical
exactly.
mailing address to
Or
your house,
your blood type or your genome sequence.
That's
any of
commonly
those
address to your
sensitive.
known.
house.
My celebrity.
Are you
my
at the Black Hat
celebrity, of
convention
course,
now?
defines that has to be. No, I should be, but it's time for the show.
Well, why aren't you at the convention? Is the convention now?
Yes, it is, and then I believe.
So why aren't you
I
like our field
said it's
reporter
a
and you're
show,
down there
and when it's
broadcasting
time for the
live?
show-
They'd probably have
Ah.
a better internet connection than where you're at now.
No,
Thanks to
no,
you giving
no,
your
no.
address out every week, now we have the
That's
NSA
a
outside your
fool's
house
game.
suppressing you with an electromagnetic field generator. Peas,
I
the
would
show's
need-
power is being inhibited, and you are enabling that inhibition by the conspiratorial tinfoil hat brigade that is the government Illuminati itself. And the only reason I
Look at
say
you
that,
go. You're on fire tonight.
I'm just saying.
You're on fire.
You
Well, I
leave
was.
Peas alone. Peas is handsome.
I'm just riled up.
Oh no, He's.
They kicked
Now
my
listen.
man. They kicked my boy, Papa Alex. They kicked him off that internet.
Yeah, they
He's
did.
not allowed to be on the internet anymore. It's illegal. And that's
And even Ben Adolf Hitler Shapiro came out in defense of Alex Jones getting kicked off of almost all of the internets. There are
That's
very
gonna
few
fix
internets
everything.
left where you can find the Alex Jones. But you know what the new trend is? The porn channels. Pornography, and I mean this seriously, has always been like a sort of a beacon for the First Amendment, in the same way that the Church of Satan comes out every time Christians try to pass a law under the guise of religious
you know what?
liberty.
This isn't-
Pornographers come
The-
out in a similar fashion when it comes to people that are being ghost banned or whatever they call it now. They're providing a platform for all the people that are getting tossed.
So here's the thing. This is what happens when you start to lose a free printed press, which we used to have in this. Is that now private corporations like Apple and Facebook can decide based on the political whims of the time on what's appropriate speech and what isn't appropriate speech. And in the end, both sides will suffer
well, they're
from this
private. They're
stifling
private
of free
companies.
speech.
They can.
Well,
they can.
they are,
choose to
and they
put
are private
whatever.
companies.
They can. Yeah. I mean, come on. That's libertarianism.
And that's
to
why
a
I'm saying,
T.
in some sense, it's not a First Amendment right in
Yeah,
that
it's not.
landscape.
So move on.
But on the same token, well, then no, okay, well, I'm not going anymore.
Yeah, what about the Third Amendment? You know, because I'm pretty tired.
What is that
of-
one? What is that one?
Or that 18th.
The Third Amendment is the one that deprives the federal government of the power to house soldiers in your
correct.
residence against
absolutely right.
your wishes.
They just can't show up and
in
say-
time of
they just
peace.
can't show up. Yep.
In
Now,
time
in
of
time
peace,
of
though.
war,
In time of
in
war,
time
you
of
have no
war.
Third Amendment rights.
because Lincoln was
We're always at
actually
war.
there's a big criticism of Lincoln because people misinterpreted that amendment during the Civil War because he bivouacked Union soldiers on wherever he damn well wanted to. Not that he made those choices, but those were the presidential orders.
Well, he
during the
should have thought
campaign.
about that before he went and talked about it on Twitter.
You know, Lincoln. Funny enough, and it won't be funny, so maybe I shouldn't say it. But Lincoln actually
we know it
was
won't be funny.
pro-
But go ahead.
The Gettysburg
It's
Address in less
probably-
than 145 characters.
At the time, and not just the South, a lot of people in the North thought that Lincoln was a tyrant and a dictator because of how he negotiated the war. Now, through the lens of history, we look at him as a great president, but that was very much
Bees,
not the
I know,
case.
I know, as somebody that lives out in a land of mysticism like you do, where they believe in gambling and polygamy and satanic worship
Oh, yeah.
and things
If you
like
have
that.
money, we'll trade you something for it. Yep. I live in a great state of Nevada. Everything's legal.
And look at what it got you.
Yeah, are you proud of yourself, Peace?
What is that? What has it worked for you? Has the grass started growing yet? Has God shown his favor upon you? Ye?
Upon
Nothing
the peace
like
personally.
a front lawn in Las Vegas, just like some rocks and maybe a cacti if
The
you're an
fire-
I'm gonna
aristocrat.
go out and mist the cactus.
No, there's people. It's how you tell if you're rich in Las Vegas is you'll actually have a lawn. It's illegal to make a lawn now, but if you had one, house had one when you bought it, you keep it. But you have to pay extra for water. And
you
stuff.
can have sex with prostitutes, smoke marijuana, gamble your
Yep.
money on just about anything.
Yep.
Anything. Walk the
Yep.
streets on alcohol and drugs.
Yep.
But if you have
Yep.
a yard, you're going to jail forever.
If you plant grass in it, yep.
That's
Well,
the seriousness.
It has-
of the
They don't
situation.
have
You're okay.
real grass. They just have
No, they
like
do. They
they
most
have
certainly do.
buttstro turf. I think it's
No,
called
they got-
buttstro turf.
No, they actually have grass, dude. They water the shit out of it. And-
me. Excuse
Well, you know,
me.
you guys act like I live on Mars. You know,
No, just
I'm
the
sure
desert.
that we should do this
I
because
don't. If you lived on Mars, we'd have a lot more interesting conversations. But you just live in this vile den of iniquity and
it would be a
putrid
6-minute delay in
vileness.
between each word.
It's gonna be terrible. Well, that's not my fault,
Well,
Peas.
we're all bad at radio because we haven't mentioned the anchor to the
FreeThinkRadio.com.
context. No, to this conversation that you live in Las Vegas. We're all just assuming that everybody listens to this knows that you live in Vegas, but we didn't mention that. You know,
I was just enjoying ripping on anything associated.
I know we get
but now,
carried
let's
away.
get personal. Is that where we're gonna have the boxing match? Is Las Vegas, Nevada?
Well,
Boxing match.
there
You
is
said
a
we couldn't talk
boxing
about the
match.
fight of the century. Unbelievable.
It is the
Left
fight of-
versus right. One winner take all. But we're gonna talk about that later in the show.
We
Calm
sure
down,
the
Perry.
hell are. There's a boxing match, but
Old Perry Peas.
yeah, no, we have to get into it later because Dr. Fox pointed out how big of a stupid idiot I was when it came to certain elements of the execution of the organization of this event. And so you're definitely going to want to stay tuned to the show where later on Dr. Fox will stupid idiotize me. It's sort of like a deputization, but it's an idiotization.
Yeah, we'll get to fill you
He's
guys
gonna
in
do it to
on
me.
all the work that I'm gonna watch him do.
That's right, and it's going to be embarrassing for me and humbling and crumbling and tumbling and stumbling and bumbling for me.
I thought.
But for
I thought
you, the
everything
time
was-
for the show viewer,
everything was
it's
going
going to
according to
be
plan.
good radio. Say what, Peas?
I just want to make a note now that everything that's happened so far about the fight of the century has gone according to my plan.
So far, but you know, there's but
So who can I turn a blind eye to tonight then? Huh?
wow,
Philo-
look at us. We're teasing
Philo taught me
everything.
well.
We're teasing everything. We got yes, blind
Everything's
eyes,
teased.
Dr. Fox. Yes, Reverend P's the fight of the century. And you know, not the thing that I
That would
said
be
in
a
the
good
beginning of the
band.
show, because we
I
never
wonder
get to
if
the
that's a big-
topics that I say in the beginning of the show. What did I say? What did I say in the beginning of the show? Let me look at my notes.
Did somebody
Dr.
just say,
Fox
wait,
smokes
wait,
an
did somebody
entire
just
donkey.
swears? Did somebody say a swears?
Did
No.
you cuss?
No.
Pete?
Somebody say a swears? Okay, just
I
making
didn't.
sure.
Well,
This waveform identifies where I thought there might have been a swears.
Okay, 10:19 p.m.
Okay,
I'm making a time stamp.
there we go. And
There
we've
it
got
is.
stamps.
Well, we can't
We
cuss.
got a lot of stuff that we
We
can talk
can
about.
cuss if we
.com.
want to, but we shouldn't. And let me tell
Shouldn't.
you why.
Because of the children.
Well, the children are very sexy, but there's an even bigger reason why
Yeah,
we
I
shouldn't
disavow
cuss
myself.
on time for the show, at least for the first hour, is because we have been petitioned by a certain janitor of a certain tax-paying satirical church that, you know, if we could provide said person with clean content, then said person would play that content on their syndicated radio show.
The clean content.
Well, it's got to be clean, and for it to be clean, that means it's got to be clean. If you know what I mean.
Watch me.
You green
I'm going to
bean.
beat both of you at this. I'm going to beat both of you. I'm going to beat Praz.
Yeah, you are. You already. It's usually my fault.
Yeah,
Also-
is that our drinking game now? Every time
We
every
don't
time,
swear.
Yeah, every time P swears.
I don't want that
We
to
have
be
to
a
take a
drinking game
shot.
because I want to be drunk by the end of the show, and he might only get like one or two in there.
For
you
me,
know?
but yeah, that's the risk for me. I forget your
It is
I
a
was
good
going to say
point,
accursed
though.
Irishness, and that wasn't the word I was going for. But then I decided it still fit.
It is a good point, though, because we didn't
The
swear as
accursedness of
much
the
or
Irish,
at all.
yes.
Or at all, we would
wonderful
get a
point.
lot more play in the prison.
What about prison?
Well, we would get a lot more airplay because, you know, they censor what goes on prison radio in most big houses, from what I understand.
Yeah,
from
the
my,
subgenius hour of
mail I
slack is
get.
huge in prison.
It super is, man. There's a whole,
actually
like,
not-
Bob Click.
Totally untrue. There's
It's
been a lot
absolutely
of
100%
fan mail
true.
from yeah. See, Peace, you know. Don't act like you don't know.
I do know. I said that. I said this absolutely it's a big deal because being such crafty folk, we sometimes find ourselves on the wrong side of the law.
I'm gonna put a telephone filter on peas. It's gonna sound great.
I see Dr. Fox. I'm here at Hypercube with Dr. Fox, and he is
exciting.
twisting those robot nipples as we all talk. See, what you guys don't hear is all the
I say
doctor
not to step
engineering
on him.
doctoring that Dr. Fox does,
Guys.
because once again, this is a live show.
Other times I would like talk now, and they say, "Oh, don't step on him." So
Hey,
I'm trying not to
Peace,
step on him,
yell.
but they might want me to talk now too,
Yeah,
really loudly,
Step on me.
just so
Oh,
that they
yeah,
can do other
Step
things.
all over
So
me.
I'm still
Trying to
unsure
say
of my
something.
role
When we
in
come back
regards
from
to
the
this
song,
talking over me,
enter.
and he's just
break!
He just
We're gonna
song.
we're gonna
stop
we're gonna
talking
try
over
something
me.
new tonight with the show on the technical end. Plus, we got more bits and things to do.
Phone
So
filter.
we actually have a show
Yeah.
to get to for once,
We do.
and we're 22 minutes in. So
And that's a
you're
good
listening
intro.
We need to take
It's
a
time
break.
for the show, and it's time for the show, and the show is now, and we've got more coming. And if you would like to listen to your song requests on Time for the Show, just go on over to timeforthewebsite.com and join our Discord. And come on into the music channel and submit your song
Damn.
requests. This one comes from my
Have
good
a
buddy
train.
and Supreme Cube Lord and Patreon Donatortron, Dr. Cosmac. So,
Hail Cosmac.
This is his request
Cos-
of
Max
20th
Commandos.
Century Man by the Kinks.
And you know what? I think I should say, right now we are experiencing hyper cluster fuck over here at Time
And
for the
that's
Show.
10:23 p.m.
It's 10. Oh, gosh dang it. I did say
10,
the F.
All right, Peas, take a
I
shot.
said the F, didn't I? Drink, Peas.
Um,
No, we
there you
have a
go. I'm not
board. We
even
have two
drinking
boards
for
over
this show.
here that are registering nothing. Luckily, we're still going out live on the show, but we're going to
Making it on
need
this
to
syndicated
straighten this
radio
out.
Show is so important to me. I have totally changed everything about my life. I'm not even drinking right now.
We're running on auxiliary power right now, Peas. I'm telling you, the boards are registering nothing. We're going to have to reset a couple things. In the meantime, please enjoy 20th Century Man by the Kinks. You're listening to Time for the Show on Freethink Radio.
Sean and I was the best band stuff.
This is the part where we leave you in the dark, Peas.
Okay, bye.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives
Oh,
in
that
the blue
Peas.
world. And all day and all night and everything he sees
Yeah, I mean, it's not gay if they're dead by the time you're finished with them, right? Oh, wait, are we back on?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, I suppose I should say that you're listening to Time for the Show live on Freethink Radio, unless you're listening to the podcast version. And if you are listening to the podcast version, then you're in for a treat because you do not have to listen to the last song that we played, which was Dr. Cosmac's cruel joke. He thinks just because... Oh, and yeah, and Peas, you're there. Peas, give me a sit rep, soldier. What's your 20?
What's a sit rep? A situation representative word pick?
The situation report.
Oh.
And by the way, before you ask me a question, you have to say the word interrogative. That way I know that it's a question and not a statement, because I can't hear the punctuation in your words, Peas. This is radio. And you're better than that. I know you are. Well, how come do you not find me attractive anymore, Peas? Just tell me.
Fid. So, what you're saying is you want to talk like Christopher Walken or James T. Kirk.
Not like them, just as them.
As them.
Well, here at the Hypercube Laboratory, it's all about Doe's numbers. And last week, we hit a fun one because our podcast had been downloaded 666 times.
Good question.
Just since June. And here we are. It's the beginning of a new Patreon cycle. We'll have all of those shout-outs in just a little bit at the cap of the next part of the show. You'll get your names in there, don't worry. But we have gone over 600 unique IP addresses have come through around the world. Now, we had those statistics for you. Now, I love you guys. I know you guys love to gamble
far
and
away
bet
as our
on your statistics. Okay, so, Peas, out of the
Yes.
out of the 755 total downloads, the majority of them came from the United States. Now,
It's fabulous.
would you like to guess what platform they've been listening to the show on?
That's why
What
they call them
between the
dead
big
air
three,
peas,
Microsoft,
everybody.
Linux. I was thinking everybody could.
Well, they can't hear you
People know
think
the peas.
on the
They-
radio.
They
peas.
imagine it in their minds. Radio is about painting word pictures. It's about
Okay.
painting word pictures. So I'm gonna say that the most. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Windows.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
34% of our listener base accesses the show through a Windows computer.
Peas wins the first round, everybody.
You want to just
What are
take
the
a
other-
guess on the second and third there? Just bonuses. You can probably
So
figure
the
it
second
out.
one I'm gonna do. The second one will be any form of Linux. Okay, let's just do the whole Linux thing as a whole shell. That would be the second most popular mount.
All right, and then for your third one, what do you think that
The
would be?
third's gonna be Apple.
Well, you're spot on the third one, but the second one specifically is Android.
Oh,
Linux users.
Dag, yo.
We had 42 total Linux
Is that not a
users.
Linux-based kernel?
It's coming in through the Android, so it's a mobile device.
Well, I think the Linux kernel and
You could even
the
count that on
Apple kernel
Windows.
are the same kernel.
Basically they're all the same.
But
Windows
Windows
is even a
is
Linux.
smaller.
Apple runs on a true Unix system.
That's
Oh, you're
right.
correct. But Windows has a Linux kernel.
Wait, can I get a little bit of cred for knowing that? Because
Maybe
this
later.
is not my wheelhouse, so that should be excessively impressive. And I put the sex in excessive.
All right, then, Fid, these are for you. I said earlier that the United States is the majority of where our listener base is. Where do you think 2 and 3 are?
Ooh. So I'm
two's a
picking
cinch.
from nations here, right? So I'm going to go with Germany as number 2, and then Nazi
Incorrect.
Germany as number 3.
Okay, Peas, you want to
That
take a
is
whack at it?
correct.
What do you think, buddy?
Okay, the second largest or second number of hits that we get is going to come out of our home nation, hosting nation, which would be, of course, our brothers and sisters in the Great White North, Canada.
Yeah!
And what do you think for third?
That's a given. It's got to
For
be
third,
Germany.
now, here's the thing. Now, Germany is like kind of the obvious thing, but I'm actually going to go with. And now, here's the problem. It's I just want to say Scandinavia, okay?
That's not a
But that would
country,
encompass
Peas.
a region, right? So it would encompass Iceland, Norway. So that's probably cheating. Germany's pretty good, but I'm gonna go with China.
All right, number 3 in China. Well, you're both wrong about everything. Our second country listed as per downloads
For time for the show.
for time of the show is the United Kingdom,
Ooh.
and the third is the United
isn't that
Kingdom's
part of the
retarded
United
little
States?
brother, Australia.
Wow, we are really
Well,
popular with
aren't both
white
of those
people.
part of the United States?
Now, you said Scandinavia, which is interesting because Denmark, the Netherlands, and Finland all show up on here, and Germany.
Wow. We
Germany.
are
we have
and Germany.
we have the same amount of downloads out of Canada as we do out of Germany, which is 9.
Really?
Well, those that are new to the show should know that Time for the Show is broadcast live on Freethink Radio, which is based in Canada. HMFIC Dr. Ellis
Actually
praised him.
sent us some Freethink Radio stuff to the
Yes,
P.O. box.
He did.
And we'll be getting that. We'll get some of that out to our Patreons. We also got stuff from Scalpod.
I'm keeping mine.
We got so much
I'm
cool stuff,
keeping
and
mine.
Dr. Cosmac.
We got so much cool stuff. We're gonna. You want to just like talk about that right
My
now?
cool
Let's get
stuff
into that. And
was
because
my
Peace
viewer
got
mail.
some cool stuff too.
yeah.
That's my viewer mail.
Your
man.
viewer
And,
mail.
know,
You got a
guys-
letter? You got a
I
letter
got-
to read?
I got a thing addressed to me, and it's stuff, and a listener sent it, so it technically counts as viewer mail.
Okay, what'd you get?
Well, I got from Free Think Radio, all the way from Russia, Ontario. I got the latest copy of The Pale Horse.
Yeah.
Of which, dude, if you first of all getting a really nice comic, this is so well done. It's crazy. It's full of buldata and awesome stuff, funny little bits, and community services. There's a scratch off game in it. It's got a whole big page here about time for the show and how we were founded in 1648 by the Ottoman Empire to use as a rudimentary birth control device, which is true. Most people don't even know that about the show, but it's absolutely true. We've got
Well, I wrote
1863.
that.
Well, I understand that.
No,
Dude,
but
I'm just
but,
telling
but
you.
I'm such a shallow
that of this
person that as soon as you
yeah.
name something that I did, I have to point out that it was me that did it. Do you understand?
Okay, good job, Fid. Argus, can you do me a favor? Argus, do you have a cookie? Could you give Fid
Please.
a cookie?
Yeah,
for
here
me?
you go, Fid. Here's a cookie.
Nummies. Oh, there's the
There you go.
nummy
Nummies.
cookies.
Give him his Fid snack.
Yeah, here, you'll use this to light the Fid
So,
snack.
Do you understand my
But wait.
insecurity now?
But wait, guys, there's more. Okay, because as if this wasn't enough, and you got to do whatever you got to do to get on the list of getting this thing sent to you when they make it, because it is really well done, and it is just to be on the list to have gotten it. And there might be some things that P's put in there, you don't know. Not like it. I got 2 copies so I could scratch my game in one, and under my scratch piece it said P's. It was like magic. I'm not going to do the other one because I want to keep that in mint condition. I'm going to put it in one of them comic foil things. I'm sure it's going to go up in value. Now, I've also got, I don't know, this is kind of select here. I got some independent online 24/7 freethinkradio.com stickers, and some are big and some are small.
Well, now
This
that
is
we've
great.
talked about it for
My
more
life
than
has
3
changed.
minutes, the FCC compels us, even though we are on Free Think Radio, which is Canadian-based, we are still compelled by the FCC to
Out of
explain
love.
how everybody who is hearing what we are talking about can get what we're talking about, which is the Pale Horse magazine.
Woohoo!
From Free Think Radio. It looks like a comic book, but it
It's
ends up
fabulous.
being like a extremely well put together. It looks like pamphlet number 1 on steroids. For all you sub-geniuses out there that know what pamphlet number 1 is, it looks like that on steroids, like in a sort
I
of
wasn't
a
very clear with
comic
my
book, like binding.
I guess
but-
I didn't say any of those.
Well, how do they get it, Pease? How do they, and by they,
No,
I mean
carry
them.
on. That's fine. You're doing so good.
No, I'm
You're doing
asking
so
you
good. No,
because
I'm curious. I'm curious to see if you know how they get it. I know how you get it because I got it.
well,
I'm
I got
curious
it
to see
too,
if
but it
you
came
know
in the
how you
mail.
got
I'm
it.
not going to give Dr. Ellis.
Technically, it came to. See, it came to my personal residence. Technically, it went to some PO box, so it could have been just
excuse
for
me, because I have a P.O. box. I'm not a real person.
Well, I'm
Oh,
not saying that. Those are your
no,
words.
I apologize. Please,
Wow,
please.
Peas, it's
Why
almost
don't you tell me
it's almost like
how
we
to
wouldn't
get the
narc on you as much
Pale
as if you had
Horse
something like a PO box.
Think Radio. It's the Pale Horse. How do
it's
you get
true.
It, please?
I did drop the ball. Everybody knows that. I did drop the ball in the PO box. But you know, there's a lot of forms and identifications, and it's
international.
I'm glad you guys.
Yeah. You need like
I'm
a.
glad. Oh, and that's it. It's international too.
Yeah.
So go. How do you get it, Finn? What if I wanted another copy?
Well, if you have 2, don't you, or 4? How many did you get?
I got 2. I think one was
I
for
got
me
two.
and one was for carrots.
Well, okay, look, here's the digs, my man. If you want to get a copy of The Pale Horse from Free
Should
Think
people get
Radio,
a pencil right now? Go get a piece of paper and a pencil, everybody. Hurry up, quick. Wait one second, Finn.
grab your chisels.
Okay, let's
it's
go.
time to
Let's
find
go.
out how to get your copy of Pale Horse from Free Think Radio. Producer of Time for the Show of which you are currently listening unto their fourth two.
Put $10
Turn
and put
it
it in an
off.
envelope and send it to 4304 Winter Park, Florida. 32793.
Well, it's P.O. Box.
P.O. Box
4304.
4304.
But other than that,
But
yeah,
yes.
I'll give you an A- on that one, Dr. Fox.
Sorry, I jumped the gun on that one.
You jumped the James Gunn on
on
that one. That was topical humor. That's why
I didn't
I'm
like
funny. Do you understand why I'm funny?
now.
Do you understand why I'm funny? I said something that's
I'm
in a
hurt.
hashtag. That's currently
Did
in
you
a
guys
hashtag.
mention that all?
That
did you
makes
guys
me
mention that
legally
all the
funny.
digital art, all the digital art was done by Martha, of course.
Please tell them how to get the Pale Horse, because you know what? I don't know. It just showed up in my mailbox in the Hypercube PO
It's
box. How do they
pretty
get
easy.
it?
All you gotta do,
Yeah.
click your heels together
So you don't know either.
and say.
Welly, Wellington.
I do know. I do know. I do know.
Wellington. Somebody also doesn't know
I do
how. I don't know. Well, because see, Peas, you and me, we're like privy to that. But I guess you could go to freethinkradio.com, and I'm not going to say that Freethink Radio is all one word.
Sorry, I coughed.
Dr. Fox just coughed. What was it? 10:43. Make a note, Dr. Fox. We're 43 minutes into the show, and you coughed.
Click.
I bet you. Here's the thing: if you send an email to freethinkradio@gmail.com, I'm pretty sure that's how you can get it.
Is that really
And it's
the
also how
email
you can
address?
submit art or music
What was
to it.
the
if you
email
want to.
address, please?
What was it?
What? The email address is
Freethinkradio.com.
No, freethinkradio@gmail.com. Or you
.biz.
can also Doc Ellis at freethinkradio.com.
Just go to
But
Doc.
either one
Ellis.
of those things, way to get a hold of them to get it.
Guys, you got to get a hold of this. This isn't even part of Time for the Show. This is a Free Think Radio production. It's Pale Horse. It's spelled P-A-I-L, horse. And it is, if you want something that's kind of like along the same lines of what you got in your Subgenius membership packet, and you say to yourself when you open your Subgenius membership packet and you note to yourself that, oh man, all this stuff was made way back in the 80s, and oh god, they don't make anything like this anymore. Guess what? You're wrong, but you're not sorely
wrong.
mistaken. You're comfortably mistaken, because Doc Ellis has your back. He has released Volume 1, Issue 1 of Pale Horse. Again, that's P-A-I-L, Papa, Alpha, Indigo, Lima, Hotel, Oscar, Romeo, Sierra, Echo, Pale Horse. But it's in that old style of that like black and white and the clip art and the Photoshop and the stupid stuff that's just smart enough to be the right kind of stupid. Doc Ellis made that, and it's, what is it, 30 pages of it?
Yeah.
It's like if pamphlet number
1 million
one
pages,
was
dude.
like
29
30
and a
pages
half.
long. It's fucking great. You guys gotta check it out. That's all.
10:45 p.m.
Some
Damn
believe
it!
the first pickle was created in Mesopotamia, 24,000 BC. So it's full of little trivia trips like that. We
Trivia
have some.
trips?
There's a for sale. There's some dentures, various sizes, smells, gently used. Inquire with Gary. So you want to get on that before they get all sold out.
All right, well, we've stroked Dr. Ellis's dick enough, and it's 10:46. Can you say dick? Am I going to have to go back and get that one too, Dr. Fox?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Well,
good.
let's just make a note anyway. 10:46.
I haven't sworn at all.
But Peas, I think we should do the viewer mail before we get to the top of the hour because we have a lot of show to go. We have the
What is
Blind
my
Eyes
viewer
coming up. We have
mail?
Is It a Band? An entire
Oh.
fresh round of Is It a Band. That's everybody's favorite bit that we do on this show, and
Yes,
mine
sir.
too. It's a lot of fun. So as we approach the top of the hour, and I'm really excited because you, Reverend Peace, said that you got a viewer mail this week, and I personally can't wait to hear it. So, what do you got? What do you got, Peace?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Oh,
and I
don't say
preface
here's the
whole
thing. That's not good.
description. Yeah. Listen, may I speak? I told you guys that this was my viewer mail, my artistic description of the pale horse and the swag that came with it, how awesome it was, and how everything was digital art was by Martha, and how cool it all was. That was my viewer mail, Fid. You could even go in the Discord room and ask the people, and they will tell you. He's clearly stated this was his viewer mail. That came to his personal residence at 6428 Dobie Peak Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada 808.
Yeah.
But you should send things like this in the future to the PO box.
Right, except for Peas, and I hate to spoil it. Spoiler
Wait, I
alert.
did a whole thing like it came to my house. It's mail. A listener sent it. It's viewer mail.
Did they?
I did.
Is it?
It is. It is not with that attitude. It
okay,
isn't.
well, all right. Spoiler alert, everybody. I'm in the interest of full disclosure. It is I'm not happy to admit that all of the viewer mails that we have ever received from the inception of the show have been fake. That's right.
That's
I'm
lie.
admitting it right now. And Peas, you forced my hand
That's
here.
a lie.
No, I had to admit it to everybody because the whole point of the viewer mail is that it's just a big joke. We made up, hey, we got a mail from Funny Name that lives in Funnyton, Funny State, and they
That's
asked
what you
us
guys were doing?
funny question. I didn't want to spoil.
That's what you got the whole time?
Yeah, and I know you're such a handsome boy and you're such a good boy, and I didn't want to spoil your bubble. But then you brought this, you brought actual viewer mail to the viewer mail segment. And no!
Well, so?
Well, it's supposed to be a joke.
I
man.
purposely sabotaged viewer mail so that we could discuss the fight of the...
Well, there is... You cut out again. But what Peace was trying to say, he was trying to allude to the fight of the century, which I don't... When we start talking about this in the second hour of the show, it's going to take up a lot of time. There's a lot to go over. It is the fight of the century.
You teased him again.
Just as a prelude and as a
tease.
tease, it's Danny P. Shoggoth versus Sam
What?
Scuttler. No, it's real.
The Lord
but
of the left versus the right of the might of the right? They're going to meet together
that's
in
exactly
fisticuffs?
what's going to happen, and we're going to talk all about
Talk
it
a lot
in the
about
second
it in
hour.
the upcoming hour. The second hour, not this hour.
We're
not even
about
talking
it right
about it
now
now.
if it wasn't for the fact that our sphincters are up against the glass because it is literally 10:50 p.m. and we got to get through these viewer mails. And I guess Pease
Get through
already
'em.
did his, but I have one. So we're going to do this viewer mail. Then we're going to play, I don't know, 20th Century Man or 21st Century Man, or we're going to play
By the
one of
King.
the century. But this listener, he's not going to be on much longer. He's got to leave by the top of the hour. So I wanted to make sure to mention his viewer mail on the air because we do appreciate it. And this week, oh, did you hear me bump my mic? That's good radio. This week's viewer mail comes to us. Peace, drum roll, please.
If it's Scalapod, I'm going to be pissed because you just chewed me out
You
for
know what?
my
I
viewer
should.
mail being from somebody. I'm that's gonna steam me up. I'm gonna do the drum roll, but I'm just saying.
Well, actually, I'll just cut you off right there because you're right. If I was actually funny, I would have came up with a real viewer mail right after I had chastised you for bringing up a real viewer mail into our not allegedly fake viewer mail segment. But you know
Could
what?
be now.
I don't
We don't
have
know.
such an evolved sense of humor, Peas, nor do I have such an evolved sense of comedy foresight that you. I had a viewer mail that I wrote earlier today, that I made up earlier today, like in preparation for the show. And
Is it good?
well, is it? Is it? All right.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Dude.
Well, in order to do it, I have to
I'm excited
pretend like
to
it's
hear it.
real. All right, this week's
It is
viewer mail
It's real to me.
comes to us from. Hold on, let me look here. Wait, let me get a piece of paper to put so it sounds like I'm actually, you know. Oh, there it is.
Let's
This
see.
did
I
that
think
sound
I
good,
really
Pete?
It's
saw
underneath all that paper.
It
Was that
sounded
good
good.
radio?
I really envisioned it.
It's on the
It added
screen
depth
there.
to it. It added depth to the whole show.
This week's viewer mail comes to us from Craig Craigley of Beggin Strips, China. And I thought it was kind of weird that there was actually a city in China called Beggin Strips. So I wrote back to him, and he told me that in Mandarin, the word Beggin Strips means place where blessings of 1,000 ancestors reign upon us. So, hey, how are you gonna argue with that, right? So yeah, it must be legit. Despite everything I said earlier about having made this up 3 hours ago. Anyway, Craig Craigley of Beggin Strips, China, writes to us and asks, is it funnier when the viewer mails are damn it, did I just mispronounce
Very
that?
good punchline.
Craig Craigley of Beggin Strips, China says, is it funnier when the viewer mails are self-referential like this one? And he does make a point there because by asking...
How did he spell referential?
Self-referential. It's actually one word because it's hyphenated.
Referential.
It's Romeo Echo
Self-referential.
Foxtrot Echo Romeo Echo November Tango Indigo Alpha Lima. It's referential and then
Referential.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, are you doing it?
Referential.
Is that your answer, Peas? Actually, that's a
Very
pretty good
good.
answer because while his question was asking about self-referentiality while simultaneously being self-referential, Peas' answer to his question was self-referential in the mocking, in a poorly mocked
Wait a minute. Poorly. I
representation.
thought that was dead on. I could get work doing sound bites like Japanese.
Okay.
Referential.
Well, let me tell you, Peas, when you cut out every other
Rook.
syllable like that, it really does sound like you're speaking Chinese.
Well,
How do
you know,
you
I
do
think
that?
this is.
That's amazing.
I'm a little bit hurt because you that doubled echoed all night quietly bore the burden of it. Never said anything. So I persevered on to make sure the show went on. I'm even in the stilted, period-inducing way you asked me to, just to make sure it didn't cut out.
Well, I didn't do good enough because
You hurt my feel.
You are the Ginsu knife of radio, just chopping in and out, and everybody but you can hear it, Peas. but that's okay. They love you. Everybody
Is that
loves
better?
the bees.
Turn my gain way down.
Well, it makes no difference in D's cans because D's cans don't run. And, cans is like radio speak for headphones. But here's the bigger problem, Peas. Like I mentioned, our clitori are up against the glass. It's coming up to the top of the hour. This is time for the show. It's a 2-hour show, and everybody so far has survived the first hour. The second hour is really when the show begins, because that's when we do... Damn, we're not even going to be able to fit this all in. We have to do Blind Eyes and Is
Blind
the
Eye.
Band in the second hour, and talk about the big fight. So we have...
What about you being an idiot?
And we
That's the most important
that's
part.
part
We
of
gotta
it.
do that
We
first.
That's part of the big
bits
fight.
to do.
Yeah. Damn. We wasted too much time. So
Well,
we're gonna have to take a break.
I said that an hour ago.
He sure did. He actually said that 7 months ago when we started this thing. All right, so we have to take a break right now. Dr. Engineer, Dr. Fox, are you queued up?
Yes.
I'll take that as a yes. You're listening to Time for the Show on Free Think Radio. Stand by.
You're listening to Time for the Show, a show brought to you by listeners like you. And it's time for our monthly Patreon shoutouts. Tip of the hat to Dr. Cosmac in our I Don't Need Your Thanks tier. And our potassium level donors, Reverend Couchsloth, Apostasy Fenord, and Reverend Collar 23. At our $4 rehydrated scab level, it's Reverend Scalpod. At our $3 3-ply level, it's Reverend 80, who also does all of the show art that you've seen on the website, as well as the theme song to Time for the Show. At our $2 latex level, it's Reverend Catfeather and Hazel of the Windmills. And our newest member, at $1 at the algae level, it's Reverend Jitney Fricure. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I just did. You can follow along with us on our podcast on iTunes and Google Play, or add it through our convenient Add RSS button over at timeforthewebsite.com. Follow us on Twitter at timeforthetweet and at facebook.com/timefortheshow. You can always send us an email at timefortheemail@gmail.com. Call us and leave us a voicemail at 321-765-FAUX. That's 321-765-FOX. And for neat stuff in the mail from us, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box 4304, Winter Park, Florida 32793. This show is brought to you exclusively by our friends at freethinkradio.com. This is Time for the Show.
this is literally time for the show, and it's the top of the hour of a 2-hour show. So I guess we have to, it's like radio and everything, so that we have to like reset the table and everything. I'm Fidchuli, the man behind the plugs. That's why they call him Dr. Engineer, Dr. Fox. Say hi so they can put your voice with your name, because they tune in for they don't. I tell you,
they don't understand.
I tell
just don't
you
get it.
that they tune in for you, but they really tune in for Reverend Peas.
Oh, that handsome boy.
You still with us, Peas?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
No.
Loud and clear, Peas.
Not at all.
All right.
Well, we're back in. We're back in from the songs. People are throwing me song requests, and I'm picking the others. I like those. But you're listening to the show. What's
said we were gonna do?
Now
we've got
things to do, and we've got somebody in the chat that's relying on us. And since that's time sensitive, we better go into it now.
It's really time sensitive because normally at the beginning of every show I say we have a hell of a show for you, but we really don't have that much of a hell of a show for them. But this time, this second hour is packed, and even though the Discordettes have submitted many a song suggestion for us to break through
Box Brigade.
And even though Dr. Ellis, the HMFIC of Freethink Radio, has paid for a SOCAN license so that we can literally legally play any copyrighted material that we want to, I don't think we're going to get much of a chance to do that in this second hour. We have to get to Blind Eyes, we have to play Is It a Band, and we got to talk about Dat Big Fight Doe.
Well, I think we've got time for those at the end, so why don't we reach out to our good friend, Dr. Scalpod.
Yeah!
And let's play Is It a Band?
Let's
now, we
play
know he's
Is It
on
a Band?
delay. For those of you that have not heard this part before, Fidchuli daydreams a lot. He also night dreams a lot.
I daydream a lot, a little bit.
But he comes up with band names, theoretical band names, and then we put that to the test, and we guess whether or not that is already a band. And so if it is a band, we give them a little plug and whoop-de-doo. But if they're not a band, it immediately becomes property of Hypercube Laboratory, and no one is allowed to use it ever. So
that's right, because this is live radio. This is the equivalent of writing it down on a piece of paper and mailing it to yourself.
Mailing it to yourself.
Yeah. That's really the point of this show, is just to reserve as many unused band names as possible. You think this is entertainment, but this is really just a legal move on our part.
Reverend Scalpod says via the Hypercom chat, this is going to be an event for the records. And as of the as we entered the World League of Is It a Band, who won last week?
Well, I won last week, but up until last week, Reverend Peas was undefeated. And I finally took his belt from him, so I think the running...
It's the first game of the season, there's no belt to lose, man.
Oh, so they were all scrimmages up until that point?
That's what you guys said. You negated my record last week.
But if you'd like to play along, head on over to timeforthewebsite.com and click the Discord button. All you need is an email address, and you don't even have to verify it. And just come on in, and you can play along. So what's our first band name of the evening?
First band.
All right, here's the first band name, and I do need to mention before the first one, for those that are new to the show, Reverend Scalpod is listening to us live. He's in the Discord, so he is on a 20-second delay. So we're all going to place our bets, and then there is going to be the most intense experience of your life.
Why don't we play Jeopardy music and fill that or something?
Well, because that would be cliche.
Because then you would
Jeopardy
complain
music.
about not being able to hear the music, Peas.
It-
All right.
It would be. All right, the first theoretical band
I could
name.
just talk over the Jeopardy music.
Well, no, but that would be cliche, and not only that, but
What's
you're already
the
talking
band
over me.
Oh yeah, cliches.
And not only that, but our
I feel
asses
this
are up
delay
against the
on
clock.
your
It's
part
10:08.
is an
We still got to do
attempt to
blind eyes and talk
psychologically-
about the big fight. So, the first theoretical band name is, let me say it twice for the listeners, Creole Estate. Creole Estate.
Okay.
And as reigning champion, I'm going to go first.
All right. Fitchuli, is Creole Estate a band?
Creole Estate, well, as the person that made up this list, I thought it would be a pretty good band name for like a, some band in New Orleans or something like that. It's got to be out there. I'm saying yes.
I have to agree. I think it's a band. Peas?
It's a clever band name. I think it's band.
All right. So
Everybody says yes. Dr. Reverend Scalpod, who is the official judge and
don't
has
do that,
been
Peas.
for the last
Like,
3
really, don't do that.
weeks. He has researched these band names before the show, and he's going to tell us if Creole Estate
It is not a band.
It's not a band. Okay, we all lose. So we're
Goose eggs for everybody.
Goose eggs.
Oh.
All right. Second band name.
The
Okay.
second band name.
Shake off the criticism about my Jeopardy song. Hold on, let me shake that off. Okay, I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, are you sure, Peas?
Yeah, I'm sure, man.
All right,
Okay,
the
I'm good. My
second
neck was getting a
band.
little tense.
The second band has an alternate answer. The name of the second hypothetical
What does
band.
that mean?
Well, Ill, if you would let me say what it is, then you'd know. You S of a B.
Oh, okay.
All right, the second hypothetical band name is the Elastic Head Band. And the judges will also accept headband as 1 or 2 words. So, the Elastic Headband. Because get it? It's a pun. That's why I put it on the list. It sounds like a good band name to me. And since we're all tied up and I'm the reigning
It's
champion,
fun.
I have to go first. And
Go.
I love this band name. I put it on the list because I thought if this isn't a band name, it should be. The Elastic Headband is a band. I'm going to say yes.
Peas, you go ahead. What do you think?
That is not a band. It is no way. It's not a band. It just doesn't exist.
I think it could
No.
be. I'm gonna say it is a band. I'm just gonna go for
Oh,
the.
no.
Okay, Scalpod.
There we go. Scalpod.
And once again, Scalpod is listening to us live, which means he's on about a 20-second delay.
No.
But he has the answer. So once he hears
Let's
everybody
attention
tap in,
build.
he's got a little bit of a 20-second delay that builds up the tension. That's called good
Yeah,
radio, everybody.
does.
It builds the tension until
tense.
we get the answer.
I'd just shake my
Not a
attention
band!
off
Not
the
a
last one.
band.
Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
what's that mean? That means Peas has 1, everybody else has 0. Let's
Wait,
continue the
Finn,
game.
didn't you say it? Did you say it was a band or wasn't?
I said it
Nope,
was.
it
Okay.
said it
So
was.
Peas has a point. What is
Peas
the
has a
third band?
The third hypothetical. By the way, it's a crime that the Elastic Head Band is not a band. But the third hypothetical band name
Third band.
is Snake. It's Snakeheads After Midnight. Judges will also accept Snakeheads Before Midnight. So Snakeheads before/after midnight. And since Peas, you're in the lead, do you understand that it could be before or after? You have to vote first.
So here's my problem with that. I think that Snakeheads is definitely a band, but I feel like Snakeheads before or after midnight, either one is too specific of a delimiter. So I'm going to say no, it is not a band.
P says no. Fid?
I'm gonna say, it could be either one of those. Snakeheads after midnight or Snakeheads
It could be
before
either one.
midnight.
It could be either one.
Given that,
You know, you're getting a 2 for.
but it's a little esoteric. It's just esoteric. And Peace said, what'd you say, Peace? No?
I said no. I very clearly said no. I said it would be. If it was just Snakeheads, yes.
Okay.
It would be a band, but it's not. It's Snakeheads with this whole big premise
With
behind
like
it.
in some kind of relation to midnightedness. All right, I'm gonna say.
My answer was no.
I'm gonna say yes,
Yeah, figures.
Dr. Fox.
I'm going to go with no. I think it's a little too
right.
specific. So, Dr. Scalpod, let us know
Yeah,
what you think.
That's a
thank you.
good reason.
Thank you for
Dr.
bringing
Fox.
some
Like,
reason
it's
to the
specific.
game, Argus
It's
2
too
Fox.
specific.
Thank you.
But that's why we
Bringing
play this
some
game. Because
reason
you
to
never
the
know.
Here
game.
it comes.
It's
The Amazing Snakeheads is a band,
No.
but neither.
no.
Neither of yours is.
Right.
So Peas has 2, I have 1, you have 0.
That is correct.
That would be the
Peace
correct
to,
score.
Fox.
All
1. And the fourth, the fourth theoretical band name is the Guatemalan Strippers.
Peas, you're ahead.
That's a band. Now, can it be Guatemalan Strippers, or does it have to be the Guatemalan Strippers?
No, I'll take it without the articleized version. As long
Man,
as
That's very good. I'm
It's
gonna
gotta
say-
be
I'm gonna
plural.
Say that's a band.
it's got to be plural though. It doesn't require the article, but it must be plural. Are you okay with that, Peace? Do you consent?
So
Render
we
your
can go
consent
Snakeheads
all
after
over my
midnight,
face.
Slightly before midnight,
I want you to
but this
drip
time-
consent all over my tits and my face, Peace.
Whatever, dude.
Just
It's still a
consent.
band. It's still a band. It's not going to change the fact that it's a band.
All right, Peace says yes. Dr. Fox, you're ahead of me.
Oh, man.
We're playing golf rules here.
The or without Guatemalan
Yes.
strippers.
Parenthetically, the.
What did Peace
and
say?
then Guatemalan strippers.
I said
Peace
it
said
wasn't,
yes.
buddy. I said
think
it wasn't.
is.
I
think
said
is
it
a
was.
band.
I'm
I
saying
did say it
no.
was.
I'm saying no, and Reverend Scalpod is gonna set the record straight.
All right, here it comes. So me and Fox we're on the yes team.
Yeah, you're both
and
saying yes.
Fid is like no.
Fid says no, but I still don't have any points this game, and we're on number
Right.
4, so I'll be
Your answer's
mathematically
kinda
eliminated like pretty
inconsequential.
soon.
Inconsequential.
Guru Drew of the FLDC Sound Review.
Not a band. Not a band. So that makes the score
Peas get,
1
loses a point.
to 1 to 2. I don't lose a point. I still have 2. You each have 1 now.
Okay. What's the next band?
That's correct, Peas. It is Fid and Fox at 1, Peas at 2. It's still anybody's game, ladies and
Is it?
gentlemen. The hypothetical band name number 5 is Henry's Pet Badger. Henry's Pet Badger.
Peas, you're first.
I know it. This is a really difficult one
Henry's.
because I feel like
Badger.
there's a bunch of hipsters out there with flannel shirts. And
That's
that is
why
the
I
name
put
of
it
their
on the
band.
list. It's like, oh, it's yeah.
It's almost
You
like
know
I've
what?
heard
I'm
them
ahead.
before.
I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna say yes, it is a band because I've still got a lead. Worst thing that can happen to me is we get tied up, and so I'm gonna say yes, it is a band. I'm gonna go with my gut.
All right. Fid, what do you think?
Well, we're tied, but I won the last game, so I guess, yeah, I do have to go next. Henry's Pet Badger. Man, that's a tough one. And when I put this on the list earlier today, I usually, because I'm the one that makes the list, and I don't look them up, and you're just going to take my word for that. I don't look them up, but when I do make the list, I usually know my vote in advance, because I'm the one making these things up. But with this one, I knew that I was going to have to wait to see what the score was before I weighed in, and this is not it's not making it any
What's your
easier
choice,
on me
Fid?
God
with it being
damn.
1 to 1 to 2. Yeah, you're right. I'm buying time that we don't have. I'm just gonna say Henry's Pet
Google
Badger
faster.
is not a band, Dr. Fox.
I'm gonna say it is a band, and not for just strategery. I think it really could be.
Fid
It
no,
sounds like a hipster
Fox
band.
yes,
It
Peas
sounds like a
yes.
flannel
Hipster
shirt
band.
wearing band.
Exactly. Flannel shirt wearing band. You got it. Let's hear it.
This is stressful. I don't like this game anymore. I know the listeners like it, but I don't like it. It's hard.
That's a good.
Guru Drew is in the Discord, and
he's
he
got the
says,
official score.
Hurry up!
Damn, dag yo.
Not a band.
Band.
Okay.
Wow.
So that ties it up at 2 apiece for Fid and Peas, the Battle Royale. That puts Dr. Fox in a distant third at 1 point. And we're moving on to the tiebreaker or the instant death. What are we doing?
Well, it's
We got
it's
2 more.
We got 2 more. That
Two
was number
more.
5.
Don't worry, only take another
It's
half
out of
hour.
7. Okay.
I don't want to lose sight of the big fight.
The hypothetical band name number 6 is Sloppy Minutes. Sloppy
Well,
Minutes.
Fid, you're the reigning champ at this point.
I'm the reigning champ, and I'm
Got the
tied with
last one
Peas at a score of 2-2 with Fox with 1. So I'm gonna have to go
Yes,
first
the
on this
scores
one.
we just said 30
And
seconds
I
ago.
said, well, you people only listen for like 9 seconds at a time before they tune out of this awful
Oh,
mess
please
of a show.
explain it to us.
So we have to
Yeah.
continually reset it. And in that spirit, I will say that Sloppy Minutes, I thought it was clever. It's a play on Sloppy Seconds, but songs are usually measured in minutes, so I figured Sloppy Minutes would be a good name for a band. And thereunto forth, I say yes, Sloppy Minutes, because if I thought of it, somebody else must have thought about it, and at least 90 people must have thought about it. So yes, Sloppy Minutes is band. Reverend Peace.
Who's your band
No.
name, Peas? No?
It's not a band.
Not a band.
Not a band.
I think it is a
Ooh,
band.
Dr. Fox says yes. Peas says no. I say yes. But the only thing that matters is what Reverend
What
Scalpod
Scalpod
says.
says.
And he just heard us finalize his answers. So at this very
These are our
moment,
final
he
answers,
is
correct?
literally typing in the answer. Guru Drew says no.
Is he-
That's
He said-
interesting.
has nothing been a band tonight?
Not
Not
a
a
band.
band.
Wow.
Not a band. That makes the score
We're on a
3
streak.
Peas, 2
Yeah.
Fid, and 1 Argus Fox. With the last question coming up, the best that can come out of tonight's competition, ladies and gentlemen, would be a tie.
Well,
If it was best of, what are we doing? 6, 7?
this is 7.
If it was best of 7, I mean.
But
we're
I
at
do have a
6.
bonus sudden death round just in case, and it was held
But we
over from
don't
last
need
week
it.
because we didn't need it.
All right.
I believe
so,
I've already been the victor.
So what is the last band
All
name?
right, hypothetical band name number 7, and just for context, you know the name Chance, like the name of a male
Like
named
an
Chance?
unlucky person? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the hypothetical band name is Chance's Second Chance. Chance's Second Chance, as in the name Chance.
It sounds like some sort of
Okay,
Ferris
as
Bueller
the
band.
leader, I'm going to do a definitive no.
He says no. I'm going to go no. Dr. Fox.
I think it is. I think out of all of them tonight, this would be the one.
Well, so far, they all have not been a band,
So this has to be it.
which is really
It has to be it. What is the likelihood
Chance's
that all
Second
7 bands,
Chance.
all 7 bands aren't band names? Chances?
Well,
that
it's-
sounds like one to me.
As
What do you
we
got,
wait for the
Scalpod?
announcement, we have to
Scalpod.
realize that no matter what happens, this officially is going to be a victory for me. Fid, you may come in second. You may tie with Argus, but
Not a band, but
And-
there's a Facebook page about a dog named Chance and his second
Doesn't matter.
chance.
Chance
Doesn't
the
matter. Not a
horribly
band.
crippled puppy.
So
Too
Peas
bad.
wins round
I
2
win again.
of the World Series of Is It a Band? So now Peas has come out from
I'm the champion.
from the trenches, and it is now Fid 1, Peas 1.
I quit.
So
the show.
I am automatically
Quit the
eliminated
show.
from next week's final round of Is It a Band?
You're not going to get off that
Bullshit.
easy, Dr. Fox.
Yeah.
No. We
Are you
gonna
kidding?
Make you play
Yeah.
this.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
the two of
eliminated.
you, I'm sure we'll get it done in only 2 more shows. We've got enough
So-
for everybody.
All right, so good. We got that in the can. Let's
All right, let's
on.
go to the song. This is 20th Century Man by the Kinks. You're listening to Free
Nice.
Think Radio.
Yeah, they are.
We're gonna talk about the big fight, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
The might of the right versus the lord of the left.
Oh man. This has been a rough one. This is wow. What a show.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Are we back? Hey, we're
I don't
back.
have my headphones on. What's going on? Are we
1, 2, 3.
on?
Yeah.
Okay, hey, it's time for the show.
Is that what it's called?
It's the show.
Wait,
We're on it.
Oh, you guys didn't really play songs.
We just played a song.
I don't know. I don't know if we can go to. We can go to a song. We can go to a short song.
What other segments we got?
All
We
right,
got
well,
blind-
coming up-
Did we do
Got
wait,
blind
viewer mail?
eye. Got the fight of
We
the century.
did viewer mail. We have the
Kid's an
blind eye
idiot.
segment, and we're gonna talk about the big fight. I think Dr. Fox.
Kid's an idiot.
I think let's take a break and then come back and just do
Dude,
the
Fid's an idiot.
beefiest final segment of time for the show ever, because there's a lot
Ever.
to talk about with the blind eyes. Because I know Pease has a good one, even though he hasn't thought of it yet. I know he's got a really good one. But there's also the fight, the big fight. This is the first time on Time for the Show that we're talking about it, so there's a lot to go over.
Dude. And
And,
and Argus Q Fox is going to tell us why you're an idiot in great detail and length.
And he is. He's gonna explain to me why he explained to me earlier why I'm a stupid idiot. So stand
And see-
by for.
I knew that I teased a lot of other things earlier in the show, but after he teased that, that's the only part of the show I wanted to hear now. Very scary here.
Yes, dear friends, it's time for the show.
Time for that show. What
oh.
show is it time for, Dr. Fox?
It's time for my favorite show, Time for the Show. It's your favorite too, and it's your favorite segment, kids. It's time for the blind eye.
Yeah, we're not even going to say that we're broadcasting live on Free Think Radio at this point, because
We're in the hour.
we're punk rebels, and we don't say that Dr. Ellis is the HMFIC of Free Think Radio, and we don't. No, we don't, because that's for. And there goes Dr. Fox. He's giving me the twirly fingers, and then he's pointing at
Move
the
it
clock.
along.
That's
Move
right.
It along, Fid.
That's right. Well, there's a lot to get to in this last half hour, because not only do we have to do the blind eye segment, but we got to talk about the big fight.
Fight of the century.
It is going to be the fight. So, hey, let's burn through these blind eyes really
Burn
quick.
through them.
The
All right.
blind eye segment is where if ISIS attacked and fly a plane into one of the people we were about to mention, we, as hosts of the Time for the Show, will turn a blind eye to it, although they still might encounter some resistance from the U.S. military, but none from us.
From us. We're
For a week at
standing by.
least.
For at least one
This is
week.
not a
so-
call to action or violence.
No, it's not. It's a call to inaction
Yeah.
unto ourselves.
That's
And
all. It's all for us.
So ISIS, if you
You
attack,
hear that,
who-
YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter?
Yeah. I'm deleting all my hashtag Alex Joneses from all of my accounts right now.
We are going to get totally scrubbed.
Except if Peas has a good blind eye.
Who's
It's
your
up to
blind
you,
eye,
Peas?
Peas?
You gotta save
Oh.
the show.
Who's your blind
So,
eye?
if it's that important of a blind eye, and it's dependent on saving the show, it only makes sense that I should go last so we finish on a high note.
Yeah, let me translate for the viewers. Peas doesn't have his blind eye yet.
No, that's not true at all. That's not
And
true at all.
he
I'm trying to
knew
live up to your
all
expectations.
week that we had a blind eye
I
segment,
have a
as we
good
do
eye
every
blind eye.
week, and
I have a
he
good
did not
blind eye.
prepare. He did not prepare because even though he's a busy Peas and a handsome Peas and a
No, I have
well-intentioned,
one.
he's a well-intentioned boy, but he
I have
just-
one.
he
That's super
didn't
good.
have one. No, I don't know, do you?
Not with that attitude, you don't.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
That's
Well, here's
twice.
I'll go first then. Okay.
All right, there you go. Because mine's gonna be superior.
Well, I'll spoiler alert. Dr. Fox doesn't have him. Did I just add like 7 more syllables into the word spoiler when I said that?
And Dr.
That was
Fox.
impressive. I'm gonna go
And
back
Dr.
when I edit the show later on tonight. I'm gonna go back and catch me saying spoiler alert. And,
Ernest, do you think
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna get to
save
talk
that.
about
I'm
the
gonna
big
put that
fight
on
at
the
all tonight?
soundboard. But in order, because Dr. Fox and Reverend Peas do not have their blind eyes
We have
ready,
our blind
I'm
eyes,
gonna go
too.
ahead and give mine first. Which is, and some of you are gonna disagree with me on
He doesn't
this.
have one either.
No,
He
I
doesn't
have
one either.
No, Peas.
Finn doesn't have one either.
I have what? You want to know what it is?
I do.
Okay. I bet you do. I bet you do.
Doing it right now.
No, okay, no, I really do. I'm just effing
Okay.
with you.
I believe you.
Here's the deal, and some
Alright.
of you aren't going to agree with me on this, but there is a certain cult of no sugar added food, which sounds pretty good on the surface. But here's the deal with the no sugar added. You go to the grocery store and you say to yourself, you know what? I need a jar of applesauce, right? And so you go to the applesauce aisle. I think it's like 9 or 10.
Sweetened by God.
If you're east of the Mississippi, the applesauce aisle is aisle 9. If you're west of the Mississippi, it's aisle 11. And that's an entirely different conversation for another
ISO
show,
requirements.
why it is those two and why we involved ISIS in this. But the point is, you go to
Yes.
that applesauce aisle, right?
Yep.
And there it
Sweetened
is.
by God.
You have original applesauce, and then you have no
Delicious.
sugar added applesauce. And you
What?
say to yourself, who are these people for whom apples are not sweet enough? Right?
Nazis?
No, because when you look at the ingredients list, okay, the
Oh.
regular applesauce
This
says
is the payoff.
applesauce, high fructose corn syrup, and water, and the no sugar added applesauce says
Yeah.
applesauce. And why is that the one that is like the alternate? When you just want applesauce, but for some reason, fruit of all the kinds of foods that there are too bland for you. Oh, yeah. No, I would love an apple, but
With sugar.
yeah. But what are you going to sweeten it with? That
My love.
is where that is the genesis of where no sugar. It shouldn't be called no sugar added applesauce. It should just be called applesauce, and then the regular applesauce should be called sugar added applesauce.
with sugar.
Yes.
Applesauce with sugar. Really good blind eye fit. Really good. Really strong. You know, the whole
Well, you know what?
applesauce industry is probably on high alert right now.
Well,
I
who
would
the
think
fuck
after
are
that
these
blind eye.
people that fruit
Oh, dude,
isn't
dude,
sweet
dude.
enough for? I mean, literally, Fruit!
That's not, you
Fruit!
can't.
Oh,
you
it's
can't
so
say
bland!
sauce on syndicated radio.
Well, you know what? Actually, it's pretty refreshing to get a commendation from you, Peas. Like, normally you shit all over my blind eyes, but this week you were like, I'm a truly chuli. I'm all about dat blind eye dough. And you know what? I really appreciate that, and I want you to know that it makes me feel good.
Fid,
You should
Fid,
know that.
I'm so sorry, dude. I was Alanis Morissette-ing you.
And who would have
was
thought
being-
that it figured?
I was being ironic.
She almost said the N-word, but it started with an F. Do you realize? Or was that Alanis Morissette, or was that that other
So Argus,
crazy
after
white
that
chick?
great applesauce blind eye that Fitz just gave us, that the world was captivated to find out the final results, and
Yes.
the applesauce industry is now reeling at the condemnation of Fid
Are
as
you
his
listening,
expose.
Mutts?
What's your blind eye, brother?
I don't have one. What's your blind eye, Peas?
Yeah,
You're
Peas,
just
what's your
gonna.
blind
That's
eye?
what you're going. You're not now. If I do my blind eye, you're not gonna come up with one, right? We're just gonna move on to how Fid's an idiot segment.
Oh, he's just gonna skip me over.
Okay, well,
no, I mean, because you say you
Dr.
don't have
Fox,
one. It's
Dr.
like,
Fox is
are you gonna
blind
continue
eyeing
not to
me.
have
Hurt.
one?
That hurt, Peas.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
I
I
was
had a
just-
couple of things. I
Well,
was
you
just
should do
trying.
one of them.
I was
It's
trying to
gotta be
figure
better than
out which one was
applesauce.
gonna. Well, I don't know, because I actually had one that was a little similar. I was upset with everybody that was
Can
making
picture-
everything with crazy flavors. I think like mayonnaise flavored gelato and sriracha flavored candy and
Yeah.
suckers on a stick with a bug in it.
Go with it.
bubblegum flavored vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
Yeah,
pick
a
one of
blind
those? or
eye,
just
but
as a,
but
as a whole
here's
thing?
the hardest part: is it on those that make it, or those that consume it?
Well, what did Socrates say about
Jesus.
this?
Cut it in
Wait,
half?
He's asked a hard question.
That
He's
is-
asked a
that-
very difficult question.
An interesting question.
Because that was going to be what mine
Absolutely.
was last week. But if you all remember, I didn't get to do mine last week because you guys were mean
How
and pushed
come?
me off the show.
You guys didn't
I
let
bet you
me
that was
do a
all
blind
Fid.
eye last week.
You guys didn't want me
that
here.
was all Fid.
Well, no, I think we can look back to the Nuremberg trials as an example for an answer to Dr. Fox's blind eye. Were they just obeying orders? Those that made the artificially flavored novelty vodkas and
following orders. People
Candies and ice cream.
and candies and ice cream. Do you blame them or do you blame the leaders? I
Well, you
mean,
know when McDonald's brings out a sriracha flavored sauce, and when Burger King is putting bacon into its ice cream, that you have, you've heard about the internet leaking before, and this is what happens. Well, the whole Rick and Morty sauce epidemic shows you what happens when
the internet leaks
when the
all
internet
over your
leaks
face.
right into your nostrils.
Right into your effing face. Well, I tell you what.
So
please-
it's
So that
interesting.
was mine. So
That's a
that
good
was
one.
that was what I was working on. So you guys ready to talk about the fight?
Peas, you have to do your blind
Okay.
eye while I grab a beer.
Okay, well, so here's an interesting little tidbit though about Fox's blind
Can't
eye.
say tidbit on the radio.
The farm.
Why are you gonna talk
okay.
about mine? Talk about
Because
yours.
I will, but I want to tell this little anecdote about the Sriracha farm because it's a actually patented type of pepper. That whole sauce is a specific flavor, and they're actually the people that own that farm and grow those peppers are actually really bad neighbors. And all their neighbors have complained about the smell of making all this Sriracha all the time, and they won't do anything about it. They won't put new vents in or anything. But hey, it is a delicious sauce. So my blind eye is basically I went to San Diego this weekend to go see my mother, and she said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to go see the beach because I've been on the West Coast for a while now, and I still haven't gone to see the ocean." And I thought this would entail us stopping someplace along the line from San Diego to Oceanside, which is about 30 miles, and Encinitas or Leucadia or Cardiff by the Sea, maybe Del Mar or Torrey Pines, and I would get out of the car and go run and frolic in the ocean for a few minutes and get my toes wet. But it turns out as we're driving down the coastline, and I don't remember this. I have not been to this part of California for 20 years. Every single square foot of the beach and every single parking space for like that entire 30 miles was taken up. So we're in Oceanside and we're driving down this piece of Oceanside called the Strand. And it's very crowded there as well. And there's this surfer dude riding his bike in the middle of the street, even though there's a bike lane and all that stuff. So we go into the parking lot and not that we're going to park because there's no place to park, but just to turn around. So when we turn around, he thinks he's going to make this really woke comment that, hey, how you like that karma? Because we didn't get a parking space. Well, we weren't looking for a parking space. And second of all, that's not how karma works. So, Of course, I rolled down my window and told him, that's not how karma works, you dumbass. And why don't you get the hell out of the road? And so, because that's what old men do. So anyway, my blind eye is to that surfer dude for acting like he's all smug and shit on the crowded beach. And you're gonna get the karma when karma doesn't even work that way. And my blind eye also encompasses everybody else that thinks karma works that way.
Yeah.
Like if you steal your coworker's pencil, the next day you break your leg, that's karma. That's not how karma works. It's not even a basic semblance of how karma works, if indeed it even exists. So my blind eyes are all those idiots that think they're all woke and know about karma, when the reality is you just show your ignorance that you know jack shit about karma. That's my blind eye. That's my blind eye. That's what I'm finishing the blind eye segment with. And that's what I'm going to top applesauce and whatever Argus Fox blinded eye, because I think mine's pretty damn good this week.
You know what? I think this is the first week where Peas said that my blind eye was really good, and I'm going to go ahead and say I am in love with Peas' blind eye. That's not how karma works. And it's how most people think it is how karma works. And Peas, you're right. And by the way, a wink and a nod to Reverend Peas from Reverend Fitzjulie for his calling out of that hippie's misappropriation of the term. I love it.
Stupid surfer.
He's a stupid surfer, but I can't really talk that much because I'm a stupid idiot that doesn't know how to surf. And this was proven to me earlier by Dr. Engineer, Dr. Fox.
Wow, what a segue! I can't believe how smoothly you did that,
You
dude.
like that? You like that, Peas?
Unbelievable.
That was milky.
Wow, that is professional radio.
Milky
That is
velvet.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Segue. You segued like a mother, man.
Well, it was professional until we pointed out how professional it was. But no, I'm still proud of it. I like that.
It should be.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Argus, what'd you think of that segue?
Remember that?
Argus, what'd you think of that segue?
It's time
it was
for
good,
the segue.
right?
Yeah, what'd you think of that segue, man? That was pretty good, right? Milky velvet, right?
Velvety as milk.
There you go. Man.
Well, we have to get into this. Everybody's talking about it. It's the big fight. And
Fight of the century!
There's only 15 minutes left in the show. So here's the deal. For those of you that don't know, Danny P. Shoggoth and Sam
The Lord of the
Stutler.
Left.
That's right.
The might of the right.
That's right. That's right. They are actually going to fight each other for
Fisticuffs in an exhibition
real.
match.
One of them's gonna beat the other one up for charity, and I'm not kidding. I mean, I know most of you out here we're
A lot of people don't know who these two people are.
well, a lot of the people that listen to the show were turned onto the show from channels that are familiar with who those two people are. But for those
we
that
should
aren't
still,
familiar,
Argus Q Fox taught me that when you do radio and we're going to do something like this, we're going to promote it, we should assume that people know nothing. So
is
I think
that
we
what
should do a
he
little
taught you?
That's what he taught me. So I
Okay.
think we should talk about how Sam Stutler is this really reactionary, right-wing kind of guy that may or may not be autistic. He may or may not be practicing a certain religion. He may or may not be a boxer. He may or may not be a lot of things, but he has agreed to represent the might of the right
Yes.
in this battle royale of fisticuffs
Yes.
against this man, Dr. Danny Shoggoth, the Lord of the Left, a feminist,
Yes, he
self-declared
is.
feminist, an anti-FOSS supporter who thinks Nazis should be punched on sight and has an unbelievable Twitter account where he will go on and on about this forever, as Sam does on Facebook. So Fid Chuli, in his utmost brilliance, decided what would be better than to bring these two entities of the internet together in one battle royale, a fight of the century, if you will, mano a mano in the squared circle.
And
It's gonna be exciting.
you know, I'm
gonna
not
be
the
exciting.
only one that thinks it's a good idea. This is a
Many people.
Bob Dobbs approved project. Dr. Stang emailed me earlier. I can't say exactly what he said, but he supports it. And that means that Bob told Stang to tell me
There's
that-
money to be made.
that's right. But all the money that is to be made is going to go to charity.
After reasonable performance fees and promotional fees and venue fees have been taken out, the rest absolutely will go to charity. That's 100% correct.
That's right. If you know either one of those two, if you know both of these people, you don't
You
like
are in
one
for a
of
treat.
them.
You don't
At
want to miss.
least.
Yeah.
If
That's for
you
sure.
know both of these people, you at
don't like
least don't
either of
like
them.
one of them. And so that's enough reason for you to chip in to what it is going to take to make these two, who have already agreed to fight each other,
here's the thing.
possible to fight each other. We have
I
to
think it's
license.
important to say this because if it's our show, this isn't a joke, guys. This is a real thing. We actually got a Patreon. We've got a GoFundMe for this. We've got a Patreon page.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about.
A
Actually,
real event. This is actually going to take place. We're going to build up to it. It's just like when we started talking about Sellout Con, which is just a few days away. If you think about it,
September
it's less than
15th.
6 weeks, right? September
15th. Yeah.
15th.
Yeah.
Okay. We started talking about that months ago, and y'all thought, oh, they're doing a bit. No, it's not a bit. Sellout Con's a thing. So if you hear from the show that the fight of the century between Sam Stutler, the might of the right, against Danny Shoggoth, the Lord of the Left, is going to take place, I'm telling you, it's going to take place.
Okay, but
So you
I
need to
do
be
have
on
to say
board
this.
now.
I do have to say this. I set up a Patreon, and everybody was giving me shit. They were saying, "What do you mean a Patreon? That's a monthly contribution. That's not what this is." And I kept replying individually to everybody saying, "No, I set it to one-time donation." But it turns out that most people don't know that you can set up a Patreon account to just a one-time donation. So people are like
Do people
withholding
even
their
interact?
donations because they don't want to donate every month. And at this point, no, let me tell you right now, I'm just going to switch it over to a GoFundMe. Because
Okay.
it's too much to have
Makes
to
sense.
like tell everybody,
yep,
and
yep.
there's already this stereotype that Patreon is a monthly thing. So I'm saying it right here live on the show. The only person that's donated so far, and by the way, should receive a condemnation. Wait, not a condemnation. Commendation.
A commendation.
They should be.
You did it.
Yeah, a commendation is Tom Smith, the irreverent Tom
Wow.
Smith.
Oh, good.
Actually,
It's
already
he's a good
donated
guy.
$10, like within.
Oh my God! Look at that. That is the per diem for the
he
fighters
did,
right there.
but he hasn't been charged yet.
All the
so
ramen they
what?
could eat.
I'm just gonna. I just want to let everybody know who knows about this fight, and that also knows about the Patreon. I'm telling you right now, I'm scrubbing the Patreon. I'm moving it over to GoFundMe because of overwhelming response to move it to GoFundMe. So
Now,
do
here's the
not
thing,
donate
folks.
to the Patreon. And if you do donate to the Patreon by accident, you will not be charged yet. So don't worry about it. But it is
So
moving
here's
to
the thing,
GoFundMe.
folks. This is important. I've talked to both fighters. Both fighters are very confident in their
They're
abilities
in.
to bring the fisticuffs. They are in 100%.
They're in. Yeah.
One fighter is so concerned that he will beat the other fighter so badly, he wants medical waivers signed. Another fighter is so concerned about his health that he wants to make sure that the other fighter is not HIV positive. So you see, there's going to be expenses that we have to go through to meet these guys. Now, the good news is, because part of the promotion is taking place here in Las Vegas, Nevada, we're going to get a sports book to actually take bets on this fight. And maybe how many rounds will it
wait
go?
a second,
How many rounds
Pease.
will it be?
Wait
That part
a
might
second.
not be
you
true,
can't
but
say
still.
that yet. You can't say that yet.
I'll
Dr.
tease it
Fox,
for later.
let me tell you, Dr. Fox is burying his face in his elbow because he cannot believe that you just said that right now. I don't think we can say that because there's some legalities that we still have to work through.
That part was
Pease.
just me lying.
Don't get carried away.
That was just part of me lying.
But here's the thing. I talked to a
You
guy
can't
named
gamble on it.
I talked to a friend of mine. His name's Wolfman, and he used to box. And he's sort of in that community.
Like hell for me.
He guided me through what we would have to do to make this happen. There's the licensing of each contestant and the licensing of the promoter. We're gonna have
It's
to
an
have
exhibition match.
and we're gonna have to have an EMT on site. One.
The EMT, we agreed to that already. But this whole thing about the licensing and all that stuff, I see them put on fights at the Elks Club. Those aren't licensed fights. They're exhibition matches.
But
When you do
that's
an
the Elks
exhibition
Club.
match-
You have to be a theist to be a member of the Elks Club. I don't believe in God. They're not
Well,
going
I'm
to take
using
me
as an
on.
example. I'm using an example. You are feeding into Sam Stutler's telling you he needs a license to do this. and
No,
I'm telling
he
you
didn't
don't.
tell me that. A boxer told me that. Who was
A
like
professional boxer. Neither one of them is professional or ever had
no,
a
a
professional
guy that
fight.
worked at a gym where like sort of like one-time exhibition amateur events have occurred.
All right, whatever. It
yeah,
doesn't.
well,
It doesn't matter. It's fight of the century.
It
This
is the
week
fight.
on Time
What
for the
now?
Show,
You see
we
what we're all
discuss
like going through here,
how
and this
to
is why
You're gonna need
Dr.
a lot of
organize
Fox.
a fight.
Sounds like we're gonna need a lot of money.
Dr. Fox, tell me, elaborate to all the listeners why I am a stupid idiot.
Just to eat up the
Tell
rest
him
of the
everything I
show?
did wrong. Yeah.
Just to
Why?
eat the rest of the show.
Fid.
Well, there was
or
sellout
peas.
con. It was bad timing. I mean, everything you told me earlier. Tell him. Tell him why I'm a stupid
Well,
idiot.
why do you want me to tell him?
Because it's good radio.
It's good radio. Tell me.
Embarrass me on the radio. It's good radio. I don't have a fucking yeah.
He likes it.
I'm a
And peas.
oh. Do you
No,
want me
I'm
to do it
included
for
now.
you? Do you
Can-
want me to
can-
tell you
I'm
why
included in it.
I'm
now.
a stupid idiot for you?
And peas.
And peas.
And peas.
Well, peas goes without saying.
All right, yeah, I'd rather hear yours.
Okay, you want to hear my
Yeah, I'd rather hear
interpretation
your
of
interpretation.
why you think I'm a stupid idiot?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the
And I will either agree or disagree.
Okay, well I think I'm gonna present a fair interpretation.
And then Peas has to apologize.
Because yes, and whether
Well, Pete
I'm
has
right
wrong.
or wrong, Pease has to apologize to whoever's wrong. But I think you're right about this one. But so we got Sellout Con coming up, September 15th. There's work to be done there. We have to secure permits and insurance for Sellout Con, which is happening in Orlando, Florida, on September 15th. It's a 10-band event, a 2-bar event, and there's actually even going to be like attractive ladies taking almost all of their clothes off. And so this is something that we've been working on for a while, and putting work into it. And Dr. Fox says, "Man, you set up this fight at the wrong time because Sellout Con's 6 months out. We're still promoting that. We're still trying to secure the insurance and the permit for that. And now Now you bring to the table that Hypercube Sports has to secure license and bonding for pugilists and has to pay for an EMT. And by the way, we don't even know in which state this is going to occur yet, and it's going to take at least 2 round-trip tickets to make it happen, because either we're going to fly Shoggoth and Sam's ass down to the future capital of the former Spanish Empire,
And
which is
determine to-
Orlando, Florida,
And have a place for him to stay.
and have a place for them to stay, which
Together.
we do
man,
have a
'cause you can't
shed.
stay
Get the
there.
same
We
room
have
with
a
days
shed.
in.
dude. They
Or
can't stay at your place.
we're going to have to pay for 2 round-trip tickets to take Dr. Fox and my asses up to wherever they're fighting. They're 6 hours apart by car. We're going to have to find a place in the middle for them to go. We're going to fly our asses up. And then the licensing, we're looking at about $100 per person.
hold on. I
Which
gotta
means
stop you.
both contestants
What you got,
license
Peas?
and at least
Here's
one
the thing.
promoter can.
This is the reason we did the big reveal and announcement now. If you look at any kind of fight promotional thing, this is the hype part. The hype part goes on for months. Sellout Con will be done. We don't have to do anything else except mention this thing for another 2 months, because we are easily 7-8 months out from doing this.
That's
That's
what I
how
said.
that's how the fight game works, man. That's how the fight game works. If we said the fight was next week, we would never generate any kind of hype or anything about it. We're going to have to do on-air interviews with each dude, the Lord of the Left and the
Yeah,
Might of the
tell me
Right.
more about all the work that we have to do, Peas.
Well, no, here's
It's
the
worth
brilliance
it.
of
I'm
it, Argus Q.
I'm
Fox.
just organizing
No,
a
no.
music
Listen to
festival
what-
right
It's
now.
worth
Is
it.
all.
Listen
Come
to
to
what
Sellout
Philo taught
Con,
me.
everybody, September 15th in Orlando,
Yep.
Florida. One-day
I
event,
can't wait.
$5 ticket. It's gonna be great. Peas, say you're sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that we spent the whole first part of the show on doing teasers for the rest of the show. I'm super sorry that my viewer mail was really viewer mail and not made up like Fid likes it to be. And I'm also really kind of sorry about the blind eyes. I thought it was a mixed bag of blind eyes. Of course, I thought mine was really, really good. But I'll just move on from that. I'm sorry I said there was going to be gambling, because there won't be gambling, because it'll complicate things. And I was just trying to be funny and act big in front of my friends. So I'm sorry I said that. And mostly I'm sorry. I'm sorry that people don't understand that if we can't make this fight happen, then life isn't worth happening. And this fight is going to take place. It's going to take place at sometime in 2019. It's not even going to be this year. There's going to be, these guys have to train. They're serious. They're serious. They actually may dislike each other on top of wanting to fight. So we have time to do this. And I agree with Argus. We should focus on Sellout Con, because that's coming right up. And until then, we'll put the fight on hold.
You're
Put it
such
on
a
the
good
back
boy,
burner.
Peas. You're
You're
such a
a
good boy.
handsome boy.
You're so good. I love you, Peas.
Peas, you're my favorite.
And you're Peas.
I think that's a show. I
and
think
and
that's a
you're
show,
Dr.
guys.
Fox over there saying Peas is your favorite, and I'm Fid Chuli. And what you're listening to was Time for the Show. And you've been listening to it on Free Think Radio. And
Plus,
on behalf
Argus,
of...
we'll make Fid do all the work.
Well, I'm about to do your work for you, Peas.
Okay.
Yeah. On behalf... Oh, that's right. Play the music so I can hit the post. And on behalf of Reverend Peas, Dr. Fox, and me, Fid Chuli, I know I already missed the post, but this has been Time for the Show on Free Think Radio, and you're welcome!
Stay tuned.
You could be the difference, not just a face in the crowd. Push you to the